animes, shows, and movies. And inside of all these are characters which you may despise or even love. But I'm sure we can all think of a character who we hated at first, I mean dreaded, and then ended up liking them because of character development. Today, brothers and sisters, I'll be yapping about characters with the best development throughout their series. Without further ado, let's go. First one we got up is A-Train. And not gonna lie, this is a sensitive topic for me, because A-Train, that's my guy. But you cannot excuse what this guy was on in the beginning of the show. I mean, the first episode, he shows us why his name is A-Train by turning the MC's girlfriend into smithereens. Now, it was an accident, but he was wrong, and he interrupted a loving couple from their kissing by killing the girl, and all he could muster up was, I can't stop. And when I first saw this, I unlocked a new hatred in my heart, as if new pathways were formed in my brain to handle this new emotion. And at that moment, I understood why Sasuke was always on his hatred BS in Naruto. And if this wasn't enough to make you dislike A-Train, do not worry, I have more. Later on in the show, he killed his own girlfriend. Yes, his own girlfriend, because she leaked info about a drug him and his quote-unquote hero team had been using to enhance their powers, which was directly responsible for killing the MC's girlfriend because he was on this drug, which enhanced his power to the point where he genuinely couldn't control it. Now, this is already bad, but what made it worse is that he did this all for the orders of his boss, Homelander. And if you're watching this video, you probably know who Homelander is, and you know how much of a quad Homelander is.
I think you should jump.
I don't think I want to.
You don't want to? Why don't you show a little follow through, Chelsea? Jump.
Please, I just want to get
I'm not
down.
suggesting anymore. Jump.
The last thing I'll talk about is him betraying Supersonic. I mean, Supersonic was a cool guy, and he was one of the only people who decided to stand up to Homelander when he found out the truth. But see, no, A-Train didn't care about that. A-Train just wanted to be in the 7 and be a celebrity and be praised, so he snaked Supersonic. Yes, he snaked Supersonic to get a spot in the 7, which honestly to me is something he'll never come back from. And multiple times he showed that he's a snake and he doesn't care about anybody but himself. And at this point you might be thinking, well, there's no way you could end up liking this man, because that was definitely me at this point. But then it began, his character development. Now, besides little things here and there, I feel like his first real bit of character development was him apologizing to the main character about killing his girlfriend. While this doesn't make up for anything he's done in the show, it shows his harbored deep regret and wants to be better. And a key detail I feel like a lot of people missed was him taking off his glasses to apologize, essentially showing that it wasn't A-Train apologizing, but instead his true self. And he wouldn't be on this list if that was the only thing he did, trust me. Next thing he did was kill the garbage racist bum Blue Hawk. I mean, I hated Blue Hawk, hated him with my guts. That guy was annoying from the moment he got on the screen. And see, the reason he killed Blue Hawk was because he crippled A-Train's brother, and A-Train was not letting that slide. Now see, I feel like this really changed him because it showed A-Train what he had been doing, or how the civilians on the other side of the soup's wrath feels, if that makes sense. At this point on, he occasionally helped the main cast how he could. But the last three things I want to talk about, which solidified him as my second favorite redemption character, is number one, him saving MM, a main cast character, and taking him to the hospital, giving us these beautiful TikTok edits.
When I carried your ass to the ER, there was a kid there. His eyes were like, holy shit. Looking at me like I was a hero. There were no screaming fans, no cameras. Nobody even knew. Except for this one kid. That felt better than anything that I had ever done at Vought. Because for once, I didn't hate myself.
Then saving Huey in the last season and distracting Homelander, allowing the main cast to escape. See, the beauty of his last moments is as he was buying time for people to live and escape from Homelander, he trips and gets caught. But then he delivers one of my favorite speeches ever.
That's so funny.
What was I so afraid of? You are fucking nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Really? You're just an empty fucking suit? You take away these powers. And what are you, huh? Pathetic. Weak. Sniveling fucking loser.
And now I know TikTok edits might not be the best to show this, but I genuinely shed tears to these edits. And ultimately, this was a very important save. You know, it partly was a reason that Homelander got eliminated and also saved millions of lives. And while he did tons of horrible things, these last actions showed us how much he developed, from being a spineless coward under the thumb of Homelander and only caring about himself, to being one of the only people who stood up to Homelander and sacrificing himself for the greater good and other people.
Thorfinn. I'm sure anyone who's watched Vinland Saga will expect this. And a quick summary of Vinland Saga for anybody: it's a 2-season anime following the MC Thorfinn. He's seeking revenge for his father, who was killed by a group of mercenaries, and in pursuit of this revenge he ends up rolling with these mercenaries. He does tons of horrible things looking for revenge, like raid villages, kill innocent people, and even betraying people who cared for him at one point. He even sat by and let mercenaries that he was doing these countless crimes with great people. I mean, this guy did it all, and all of this for revenge. During all this, we get really great fights and deep moments, so I don't think a lot of people genuinely realize how horrible Thorfinn was. But because of it being an anime and how great some of the aspects were, nobody really noticed. But this is why his character development is so great. See, to me, the worse of a person you are, the greater the character development is. And it is safe to say Thorfinn was a demon. There's multiple scenes where I found myself wanting to beat up Thorfinn. But hey, he might be my ass. You know, it's a thought that counts. Him and the mercenaries he was rolling with were moving like the prime, okay, maybe not those, but you get the point. They were moving devious. I low-key hated this guy too. There's an episode where an old woman and her daughter nursed Thorfinn to health because they found him somewhere or something like that. I'm not too keen on the story, but after she takes care of him, feeds him, and even washes him, he still raids her village. And not only this, but it's implied that the old lady and her daughter died. Now, for the sake of hating, I'm gonna say they died, and this had me hornswoggled. I mean, how could you want revenge so bad that you even killed a sweet old innocent lady? This all happens in season 1. At the end of it, the guy Thorfinn wanted to seek revenge on dies to someone else's hand, and he crashes out. He attacks the king, and instead of being executed, the king has mercy on him. Thorfinn is now stripped of almost his lifelong goal, and Thorfinn is completely lost with no direction. This sets the stage for the second season, and instead of becoming this strong nomad, Thorfinn ends up a slave, which honestly kind of annoyed me because I know for a fact this guy was strong enough to escape. But we realize Thorfinn isn't the same. He's almost like a hollow shell. And without the constant chaos surrounding him and distracting us and himself, we realize how empty Thorfinn's life truly was. And he's forced to confront all of his bad decisions and even has nightmares about them. The dream that really started it all was the one where Thorfinn was climbing out of a pit filled with corpses of all the people he killed. And he befriends a slave named Einar, who was one of the first people in a long time to treat Thorfinn like an actual human. Their friendship almost becomes like a core of the season, and they do normal friend things. Me personally, I don't think Thorfinn was capable of that. And through all this, Thorfinn starts actually trying to live a normal life. He gets a flashback about his dad, and we get the one and only "I have no enemies" line. And it's so beautiful because Thorfinn is acknowledging that he never had any enemies, and everyone he fought was fighting for their own pain and dreams just like him. And the best scene in Vinland Saga happens. The 100 blows. Thorfinn takes the 100 blows by a huge guy. Pause. But he realized that violence wouldn't solve anything. I know for a fact season 1 Thorfinn would have slaughtered everyone in the vicinity after even the first punch. By the end of the season, Thorfinn finds a new purpose, and not revenge, not war, and not becoming stronger than everybody else. That's why Thorfinn's development hits so hard. Most anime characters grow stronger, but Thorfinn grows kinder, and most protagonists become better fighters, while Thorfinn becomes a better person. And even though the world is obsessed with power, kindness might be the strongest power of them all. If I told you the melt screaming about honor would become your favorite character, you probably wouldn't believe me. And when we're introduced to Zuko, he is literally the stereotype of an antagonist, hell-bent on doing something to the main character, emotionally unstable and always angry. Now Zuko's reason for wanting to catch Aang was so he could earn his father's love, who banished him from the Fire Nation, and basically his father told him that if you ain't got the Avatar, keep your butt out of here. Throughout the show, Zuko is put in situations where people surrounding him were needlessly violent, and we see time and time again that Zuko has heart. He wasn't inherently a bad person, just a bit messed up in the head with some daddy issues. Zuko ends up having to save Aang because someone else had captured him, and that wasn't good for Zuko. While saving Aang, Aang asks a great question. He says, do you think we could have been friends too? Do you think we could have been friends? And man, if I was Zuko, I would have probably started crying, I cannot lie. Zuko ends up having a realization like, damn, what have I been doing? And why am I chasing the love of a deadbeat dad? I don't know, Zuko, you tell me. He ends up joining the Avatar and does a plethora of things like apologizing, teaching Aang how to firebend, saving Sokka multiple times, and many other things. He ends up becoming Fire Lord after his father's defeat and his sister's, and restores the balance of the world. And that's why Zuko's redemption works so well. He wasn't redeemed because of people forgot what he'd done, but he was redeemed because he accepted responsibility for what he'd done and spent every day trying to better off of that. He proves that your past doesn't define you and your choices do. And that's why more than 15 years later, I'm not gonna lie, Zuko is definitely one of the best redemption arcs ever written. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry it took me so long to upload. You know, I just been kind of busy this week. My birthday was this week. I'm finally 19 years of age, 19 years being a chud. So, you know, I've been kind of busy doing things for my birthday and, you know, everything else. But I just was able, you know, to start working on this video yesterday. And I also got a new mic. Hope you guys can hear the difference in sound quality, you know what I mean? I hope you guys did enjoy though, you know what I mean? If you watched all the way through, or you liked the video, or even found anything funny at one point, please subscribe, please like, you know what I mean? I try to upload content like this a lot. I like to rant, I like to talk about things, so, you know, this is kind of like my passion. You know, I like making these videos, and I love, you know, making content. So if you're looking for somebody to watch and pass time, you know what I mean? Hey, hit the subscribe button. I know I'm small and it's a little bit of things that I gotta work on, but yeah. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, you know what I mean? Stay safe. Remember, Jesus loves you.